Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Wednesday, June 13th, 2018. Very windy day today. We had rain this morning. Actually, good rain, good soaking rain this morning. And now, as you can see, it has cleared up. A lot of sunshine now, which is not too shabby. But it's been real windy all day long. So anyway, let's talk about the topic of today. California possibly splitting into 3 states. Northern California, California, and Southern California. It's actually going to be on the ballot for voters to vote on it. So they had like 402,000 signatures to get it on the ballot. So let's say the people decide, yes, we want to be 3 different states. Is it a done deal then? Not that fast, unfortunately for them. You're going to have other things going on first. They have to take it to the legislature. They have to approve it. Then it would go to like Congress for them to approve it. So it's a process that happens. Now, what are the chances of it happening? Normally, California is 55 delegates, or for the electoral college, they get the 55. Their state gets 55 electoral college votes. That would be split up. Well, right now, it obviously always goes Democratic. So I don't think your Democratic lawmakers are going to want to see the state split up into 3 different states, because obviously Northern California would most likely then be a Republican state. California and Southern California would be Democratic. So they wouldn't get as much. It would end up adding 4 more senators as well if they do that. So, it's definitely a long process. It's a long shot for it to happen. But what are my thoughts on it? Do I think it's a good idea? I think it's a good idea, because when you have, it's just like New York. It's another great example. We have long said in New York State that New York City, Long Island, all that area down there should split off and become its own state. Because of them, we always end up going Democratic here in New York, okay? For the most part, other than the cities, Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester, the 3 major cities, other than, New York City, obviously, which they always go Democratic, but for the most part, the rest of the states always Republican. So if we got rid of New York City, Long Island, and all that area down there, and let them turn into their own state. See, here's the problem too in New York State, and I don't know if a lot of you guys know that. A lot of our tax dollars from upstate go downstate for New York City because of the number of people that are down there. Which, now, is that fair? No, but that's just how it is. But anyway, so I mean, we've talked about that in New York too. So I would love to see that happen in New York too. So I would love for them, in California, to be able to do that as well. Because I know when you get up into Northern California, it's much more conservative area up there as opposed to the liberal, Southern California. So who knows? We'll see what happens. I think it would be very interesting, to see if that would happen or not. But so anyway, today so far, we have brought in 4.7 kilowatt hours today. Yesterday we ended up with, I think, 5.5 for the day yesterday. So good day solar production. Even with all the rain that we had this morning, we still have pulled in pretty decent amounts, as far as power goes. So I'm not going to complain about that at all. Just like I said, but it's very, very windy today, as you can see. I'm going to kick this around so you can see like the trees here. And if you look at the trees higher up, I'll put it up over here so you can see the higher up trees are really kicking around. So, alright, so somebody had asked me, so I want to clarify, this is more for my newer subscribers. Obviously people that have been with me for a while know what I'm going to be talking about here. Somebody asked me, why do you fly all the different flags all the time? And somebody said, why don't you fly the United States flag? Well, there it is, it's right up there. So I have all the other flags too over here. And so people ask me a lot, why do you fly all the flags? And my answer to that is, I have a bunch more that I got to get up. I got to get the poles in the ground and get the other flags up, which were going to happen down the driveway. So I'm going to get them in at some point here, and we're going to get those up. I'll probably come down this side first and probably put them hopefully behind the cages. We'll see what happens with that. But the reason I fly the flags is to show solidarity to everybody around the world, for whatever country that you're in, that if you want to be free, and I'm going to turn on so you can see this wind blowing. If you want to be free and live off grid, to be a prepper, that we're all in this together. That's why I fly the flags, to show my support for my brothers and sisters around the world, regardless of what country they're in, that we are all in this together. Good people need to survive what's coming, and we all need to be ready, you know. And so that's why I always talk about the importance of having, you know, enough food on hand. You know, fresh water is obviously going to be the number one thing for most people, which it should be, because without fresh water in 3 days you're dead. But having enough food. Food is very, very important. I've talked about this a lot of times. Canned goods, long-term food storage, like your beans and your rice and your pastas and stuff like that, but also having your freeze-dried foods. That's real, real important. The best thing with having the freeze-dried foods, in my opinion, is once you buy them, you set them aside. They have a 25-year shelf life. You don't have to worry about rotation, nothing, and they're going to be fine. As long as they're stored in a cool, dark place, they're going to be absolutely fine. So, you know, that's the biggest thing with that, okay? And that's why I think it's real important. Now, like I said, obviously, in the link below for my website, which is preppernurse1.com, I am a reseller for Legacy Foods, which is a freeze-dried food company, the best one, I believe, and that's why I got involved with them, because the food is absolutely awesome. It tastes way better than anything else, and the portion sizes are better than any other portion size that's out there. So that's what I go with them for. But the thing is, with having a diversified amount of food available for yourself, and then obviously you're going to need seeds to be able to grow your own gardens, to get things going in that aspect. I'm a big believer in, if you can put in fruit trees, if you can put in grape plants, if you can put in blueberry bushes, you know, all the other kind of bushes that are out there that are going to give you fruit and food, you should absolutely do it. Raspberry bushes. You plant yourself a couple raspberry bushes and they will take over an area. Trust me, they will do that. So, you know, those are good things to have. You know, you need to have a diversified amount of things, because your food storage is only going to last you so long. I always get this comment too. How long, you know, what are you going to do when your food storage runs out? Well, the thing is, my food storage to me is a stopgap. It's to get me through till I'm more self-sustainable with my other things that I have going on, as far as gardening and you know, getting wild edibles, getting my fruit trees and all those type of things. So that's it. All that is for me is something to help supplement me until I can be completely self-sufficient on my own. So that's why I do it. Okay, like I said, the goal is to be as self-sufficient as possible, and that's what we're working towards, and we will get there eventually. But yeah, the reason I fly the flags is to show that we're all united. That's the biggest thing, you know, is we need to realize that we are in this together, and that we need to work together. So that's why I do it, you know, and so that's, you know, that's like I said, I like flying the flags, and like I said, I got to get the rest of these flags up. I probably got like 9 or 10 more flags right now that I got to get up, and I haven't done it yet, but I will. I promise you, they will be up hopefully very shortly. So anyway, that's what's happening. I definitely want your feedback on the whole California situation. What do you think about California splitting into 3 different states? And if you want to chime in too, what do you think about New York getting rid of, you know, New York City and Long Island? They can freaking turn into their own state. That would be all right by me. So I would definitely want your feedback, guys. Let me know what you think. I definitely want to hear it. Remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. And remember, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to work towards, whatever goals you have, If you work at it methodically, you will get there. The only one's going to stop you from doing it is yourself, okay? So that being said, I will talk to you guys all tomorrow. I hope everybody's having a good week. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.